sunga thil lo thleng te hi lalpan a thlen tir che ani a ro puina lan na dur in lalpa chung a long thu say phoro i chunga thil lo thleng te hi lalpan a thlen tir che ani a ro puina lan na tur in lalpa chung a long thu say phoro gal zo tu vol zo tu Israel te kum pipa gal zo tu vol zo tu se pai te kum pipa gal zo tu vol zo tu doctor te doctor gal zo tu vol zo tu hondam pa kum pi mesa ami te makai in vol zo zo pi se lam teng in amma pa in pa
Teaches, isn't it? If you know something, if somebody's making threats of destroying property or hurting somebody, you need to tell the authorities. Isn't that what we're taught in the basic programs? In the elementary series? So you see how the peaceful solution can actually help there? It says, on-site security decreases violence by 25%. Visible security measures deter potential aggressors. Well, it didn't deter that man that walked in Park Place Tower with the long rifle. He killed the security guy there. And then went upstairs and killed some people. So, security? Well, it might deter some people, but if somebody's determined to kill somebody, that ain't gonna stop them. Okay? It says, de-escalation training lowers incident rates by 20%. It says equipping employees with conflict resolution skills reduces confrontations. See? You see? So what are they really saying they need? Anybody? They're needing the peaceful solution. Is there anything that's missing that we don't already have in the manual? Have you read anything yet that we don't offer? It says 70% of businesses conduct background checks to mitigate risk. Screening potential hires helps identify individuals with violent histories. Well, yeah, it can help, but that person might not be violent anymore. They might have changed. They might have changed their ways. They might have came to the peaceful solution, and now they're not going that way anymore. But you never know. Sometimes people get violent for the first time, right? Go to the next slide. So it says, in our reading portion on page 41, it says, what causes some people to become violent and aggressive in the workplace while others commit murder? The first and foremost reason is they have not been trained in how to develop a positive moral character through the Peaceful Solution Character Education Program. You see that? That's reason number one. That's reason number one. Is that simple or is that hard? Do we need to get a mathematician and an algebra guy in here to figure this out? a rocket scientist? It's pretty simple, isn't it? So that's the first cause, is they haven't learned the peaceful solution. You notice that? Now, does that sound like bragging? No, it's just a fact. That's just a fact. We've got the premier program in the world. We've got the best program in the world, and we know that. Now, soon they'll know that too. Let's go to the next slide. I want to wrap it up for the night. You know, when this workplace program came out back in 2014, you know our first stop in the workplace manual was? Buenos Aires, Argentina. And our first client, let's see, myself, David, and Catan and Chris were all there in 2014, and our client there was AT&T. That was the first company that we taught the workplace program to. So if you think companies don't need the peaceful solution or they don't want it, that's not true. Even foreigners wanted it. Okay? AT&T of all places in Argentina asked us to come in and give their people, and we had a great class. It was very wonderful. The people were shocked when we told them about workplace violence, and we told them about school shootings. They're like, what is that? I mean, these were people that didn't even carry cell phones. I mean, they didn't. They had typewriters. They didn't have computers in all the offices. They had typewriters. They were like living like 30 or 40 years in the past, which was great. We told them, don't go any further. Stay where you're at. Right? Stay right where you're at, man. You're doing great, you know? And you can see it, too, in the people that they didn't have that social media feeding them, you know? Life was slower paced. Everybody was more calm. The driving seemed chaotic, but everybody was very polite and helpful and friendly. And, man, that was a great trip. I'll never forget that trip. That was an awesome trip. And that was an awesome place to teach the peaceful solution there. So anyway, the next class is going to be Sunday, 12/7/2025 at 5:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. Catan should be our next teacher. Everybody have a great evening. We'll see you then. That you can pick up on. That's a fact. But let's talk about something closer to home here, in your head. So, where do your thoughts come from? Because we did go over this before. Okay, can you give me, there's 5, have you ever heard of the, no, you have heard, we've gone over it. I think it was in the, I want to say it was in the Building Moral Excellence unit. I didn't look it up, I should have, but do you remember your 5 senses? Taste, touch, hearing. Yeah. These external stimuli are what cause thoughts to come into your head. Remember you can smell baking cookies and think about your childhood and how mom used to bake cookies for you. Or, you know, you see a certain thing and makes you think about a certain thing, right? So thoughts are coming into your mind based on the influences or the environment that you're in, okay? And so I want to kind of go over something tonight that's I think is important because a lot of times it's overlooked, and we're living in a society now that is a lot different. I think Chris might have mentioned it in the last class. This is not the same society we grew up in. I'm sorry, but yeah, I mean, it's changed a lot in the last, I graduated in 1981. What are we in now, 2025? I would say in the last, since the mid-80s, 90s, early 90s, things have really changed a lot. World, in our society. And there was something I noticed, it was something that was like, I had never thought about it until I read about it and I got educated, and it was, why does it seem like for instance on a computer, right? Why does it seem like I always see the same stories like, or the same kind of what do you call it? Like if I'm reading the news, right? First of all, did you know if you went to, let's say, the Drudge Report or possibly some other aggregate news website or something, did you know that you're being spoon-fed the kind of news you want? Did you know that? That you're being fed what you want because they know what you like. And how do they know what you like? Because you're on the World Wide Web and you're making searches, right?